As the official energy partner of the SIAC, Georgia Power is the presenting sponsor of today's matchup between nationally ranked Albany State University and the Clark Atlanta University Panthers. Georgia Power is a proud partner of the SIAC and its member schools, as well as its fans and alumni. A great fall afternoon with a sprinkling of summer heat here at Panther Stadium on the campus of Clark Atlanta. It is football as the first conference game for Albany State, and seeking their first win for Clark Atlanta. As we take a look at our impact players, Marcus Folks, the running back for Albany State, will be key for the Coach Gabe Gardenia's rushing offense. And defensively, Stephon Pierre, the all-conference preseason defensive player of the year. On the other side of it for Clark Atlanta, under first-year head coach Willie Slater, Sean Stevens will be key to his intricate offense, and defensively, they'll be tested with Terrence Harris as their defensive captain, trying to get the stop on this Golden Ram offense. And we're taking a look at head coach Willie Slater in his first season at Clark Atlanta. He spent a long time at Tuskegee, where he won numerous conference titles and Black College National Championships. Found something new in the city of Atlanta, and so far they have one win under their belt. They're seeking their first conference win. Their first conference game was a loss to Lane College. Great afternoon for football, and we see the reigning champion of the SIAC, head coach Gabe Gardenia of the Golden Rams of Albany State. Albany State coming in with a 2-1 record. They defeated Mississippi College and Shorter University and lost to an FCS opponent in Florida A&M. Albany State will receive. As we have Joe Shorter back deep for the Golden Rams.
Albany State, number 17, Joe Shorter.
Handling the kicking duties, Claudio Quintanilla for Clark Atlanta. And we are underway. Shorter will take it inside his own 10 and tripped up at the 20-yard line. There is a flag down on the play. Sun is still out, and we'll have some shadows to deal with here. This is a very unique stadium. Stands all on one side. There is a huge berm on the visitor side in which the fans take part in tailgating and watching the game all at the same time. Not the way that Coach G, affectionately known to the Golden Ram fans, Coach Gabe Gardenia, wanted his special teams to start. But their quarterback, Deontay Banu, will take over deep in his own territory. Ball now spotted at the 11-yard line. And you see the numbers for Banu. First run is a positive run by Marcus Folks. So far this season, a little bit over 167 yards rushing, 3 touchdowns. And expect to see a heavy dose of Marcus Folks. Coach G says that he's really starting to come into his own right now. Quick pass, and quickly wrapped up and brought down by Cam Ivory. Reception made by Joe Shorter. It's enough for a first down and moves the chain. So the Golden Rams work themselves out of a hole, starting inside their own 10-yard line. You see the numbers there for Banu. 33 of 70, 551 yards. Give again inside. More positive yards for Folks. According to Coach G, Banu has really come into his own as the quarterback, has a better understanding of the offense, and he does not make late down mistakes. So the drives are continuing as opposed to 3 and outs. Banu looking to throw. And incomplete. Pass intended for his tight end, Christian Grant, but a little short. So now looking at 3rd down and about 6 yards to go for the first. Opening drive here for the first conference game for Albany State under head coach G, Coach Gabe Gardenia. And looking for their first win is Clark Atlanta in SIAC play this season. Banu with time. He finds Folks, and he just can't bring it down. It just bounces off of his hip. And it'll be a punting situation now for the Golden Rams. You see on the replay, he gets a good throw off, but not a good position for Folks, trying to get that arm up that you see he has a brace on. Couldn't get full extension on it.
Back deep for the Panthers, number 11, Alvin Jones.
And handling the punting today is Gilbert Brown for Albany State. Alvin Jones back deep for the Panthers. And he is brought down wrestling style at the 40-yard line.
That's a 1st and 10 for the Panthers.
Now we'll get a chance to see the Panther offense under head coach Willie Slater. And Coach Slater said during the preseason, and you see Coach G right there, really wants to get his offense going early because he knows how important these conference games are. See the quarterback for Clark Atlanta, Sean Stevens, 6'3", 215. You see his numbers, 193 yards, 19 of 32. They will try to find balance in their offense. First run to Jeremiah Gibbs, and it is a tackle for a loss. Good play there by Malik Barnes, one of the talented group of linebackers for the Golden Rams. Loss of 2, 2nd down and 12. Barnes, one of the talented group of freshmen that are playing for Albany State. Big play and a sack. And the defense has stepped up big. Huge play there by number 44, Kevery Jenkins, the redshirt freshman out of St. Petersburg. And Stevens had no idea it was coming out of nowhere. Third down and long. Nice run, enough for a first down. And that's Daquan Kinsey, the young man out of Abbeville, Alabama. And there's a flag on the play. Let's see what the call is. So illegal formation will move everything back, and all the yards gained by Kinsey were lost. You see Coach Willie Slater in his first season at the helm for Clark Atlanta. Was hired this past winter, after a long stint at Tuskegee, where he eventually became the athletic director. So now third down and about 25. Run again and goes nowhere fast. Malik Barnes right there to put a stop to it. And that was for another loss. So now we have 4th down.
Set the punt for the Panthers. Number 31,
Claudio Quintanilla to punt for the Panthers. Gets this one off. And fair catch was called by the returner, Joe Shorter, and I think he didn't want to do that. No score here. Both drives. Defense have stepped up big with Albany State making the biggest hit. And we see Coach G trying to get his offense going. SIAC football presented by Georgia Power right here on ESPN Plus. Second drive of the first quarter now for Albany State. Give to Cam Ward, and Ward is dropped for a loss. Defense stepping up big now for Clark Atlanta. Number 14, Zion Naquomo Amos on the tackle. Just a sophomore at 6 foot 215. Second down and 12. Banu looking to throw, has some time, has some room also. Now he's going to run it. Gets out to the 40, to the 45, and out of bounds. Looks like he has enough for the first down to move the chains. You see him again. Can't find anybody. Amos right there to try to corral him. Couldn't do it. Gets a chance to move the chains, gets closer to midfield. Seven seconds on the play clock. Running a little option, gets it out to Cam Ward, and he's able to turn it into a positive, close to another first down beyond midfield in the Panther territory. Cam Ward is one of the harder runners for the Golden Rams. And looks like they were ready to get that play. Jacob Jones really snuffed it out for the Panthers, but he didn't have the support that he needed. Now first down in Panther territory. Give again to Ward. Goes to the near side and gets inside the 45 down to about the 43. A lot of black shirts around on that tackle. Zion Nwaka Amos right there on the play. Two-yard gain, second down and 8. Flare pass out. Reception made. Ajanad Thomas, they call him Smurf because they say he's so small, standing at 5'9", 160. They say he is a very talented running back, and it shows here getting that catch out of the backfield.
Good enough for Albany State, first down.
And now we're joined by two-time Super Bowl champion Tyrone Poole. Tyrone, thanks for joining us.
Hey, James. Yeah, taking in this HBCU football, Clark Atlanta and Albany State.
Banu getting some pressure and smartly throws it out of bounds.
You know, the last 10 games that these two teams have faced one another, Albany State has been dominant. They won 9 out of the last 10. So Clark Atlanta last victory came in 2017. So I'm pretty sure that's Clark Atlanta University as a whole. But Coach Slater, you know, he's had his stints against Albany State, and he has a better record as a coach against Albany State. So hopefully he can put something together today, and Clark Atlanta can come away with a victory.
Still the shadows of the administration building still glimmering here as the sun goes down. Another inside run, positive yards, and enough for a first down. Cam Ward again seems like he's the featured back here in the second series, doing a good job of bringing his team along.
Yeah. See, what Clark Atlanta's going to have to do here, Albany State is a running team. And if they're going to stop that running game, they have to limit Albany State to less than the average yards that they get per run, which is about 4 to 5 yards a carry. So if Clark Atlanta can't stop that run, then they're going to have a long day.
Marcus Fulks back in at running back. They're going to give it to Shorter. Shorter goes inside the 10 down to about the 4-yard line before he's brought down, close to another first down. They can get a first down without scoring.
Yeah, again, right here, this is how good this blocking scheme of Albany State is. They want to get to the edge, and this is a new thing that I'm beginning to see with the Albany State football team. They were a between the tackle running team, but now you kind of see them today try to get on that outside a little bit with trickery.
Give to Fulks inside the 2 down to the 1. Got a first down. Now it'll be first and goal from the 1. Good tackle there by big number 99, Noah Nelson. He's 6'6", 330. Just a freshman. That's somebody's baby.
Yeah, that's a big boy. But that's what you need. That's what you need if you want to stop the run game. So it's people like that big freshman like Nelson, 6'6". You need about 3 other good guys like that. And I'm telling you, you cannot run the ball. He's big as Noah's Ark. Aaron Donald, right?
Oh, yeah.
Aaron Donald, baby Aaron Donald.
Officials stop play. Still got 5:46 left in the opening quarter.
Now, you know, Albany State, Coach G right there, their team, this whole football season, they have scored in the first quarter in every game that they have been associated with.
No doubt about it. Banu, broken play. into the end zone for a touchdown. Deontay Banu looks like he wanted to try to run that option play, broke down, but he was able to get in for a 1-yard plunge.
See, even on a breakdown play right here, the offensive line already know who they're blocking. So in this area, you're going to run the ball. So even if the ball goes into the wrong hands, the offensive line already knows their blocking scheme. So on that play, we saw a miss handoff in the backfield. It basically turned out to be just a quarterback keeper.
Eli Mashburn for the point after attempt. Kick is up, and it is good. 5:36 left to play in the opening quarter, and the reigning SIAC champions showing that they can do it on the ground even when the play breaks down. We'll be back with more. Stay tuned.
At Georgia Power, millions of Georgians depend on us to deliver clean, safe, reliable, and affordable energy. That's why we've invested nearly $10 billion to make the electric grid stronger and smarter, and to improve service and reduce outages. By deploying high-tech, self-healing networks, we can find problems quickly, reroute power, and keep Georgians connected. We're committed to making critical investments to meet our customers' needs today and for decades to come.
Let there be no doubt. You are ready for whatever comes next. You've got bars to raise, expectations to exceed, status quos to rise above. And you've come to the right place, because it all starts right here. Which is precisely why we are so proud to support HBCU programs.
With Academy Sports and Outdoors, you can take outdoor fun to a whole new level with just a touch of a button, because there's so much to discover on the Academy app. Create your dream outdoor living space that gets the whole family out there spending time together. Master new recipes with just the right amount of heat and the perfect spice or seasoning. And give the kids even more ways to play. Great times are waiting. Download the Academy Sports and Outdoors app today.
And Deontay Banu right there with a 1-yard touchdown scamper. SIAC football presented by Georgia Power, one of the presenting sponsors of today's matchup. And you see last week against Shorter, 12 of 24, 246 yards and 2 touchdowns against a good team out of the Gulf South Conference. Ready for kickoff. On the kicking duties, Eli Mashburn. He's going to kick it deep. Clark will return from inside their own 5. They have some room, gets out to the 25 and down at the 30-yard line. Good return for the Panthers. So if you're Coach Slater at this point, Tyrone, what do you want to try to see from your offense?
Anytime you are a first-year coach, you want to just see your offense carry out the plays in which they are trying to learn. So here, you know the team you're playing against. You know Willie Slater, Coach Slater, is a run guy. He showed it at Tuskegee. So what he wants to do is bring that same aura here to Clark Atlanta. We're going to run the ball, and then we're going to pass the ball, and hopefully throw it to wherever the defense allows us. So that is what I believe Willie Slater, Coach Slater, is telling his offense. Just run the plays as they come in. The way we do it in practice.
And the flag goes against Albany State. The option for Slater, they could have kept the yardage or do a re-kick, and Coach Slater says he wants to have a re-kick, so another opportunity for Alvin Jones, the return man, to get some more yardage.
But see, that goes back to the point even last week we saw a couple of times where the coaches said, let them kick it again. And what I firmly believe, myself being playing this game at a high level, and I've run down a couple of kickoffs myself, I'm telling you, there's a big difference when you sprint down the second time after sprinting down the first time full speed. But it could be a little bit different here because they did have a little bit of time to catch their breath. It wasn't like it was automatic, okay, kick it again. They had, maybe a couple of minutes to catch their breath. Get a little squirt of water.
Gilbert Brown to kick. From his own 10, Jones, and he gets smacked.
Now, that is what Ronnie Lott would say, a woo lick. Did you hear the crowd? Did you hear the crowd say woo? That is a woo lick. That's how you come down the kickoff.
No doubt about it, and we're just happy to see that Alvin Jones was able to get up, but he is definitely feeling the effects of that hit. He's like, oh, no.
You need to see that again. Here we go. Check it out. You're coming down. Ooh, hello. That's what I'm talking about. That is where let's listen to it. Can we hear it? Oh, my goodness. I'm like, then the crowd said, woo. That's that running lot lick right there.
And that was Malik Barnes, who already has some tackles on defense and stepped up big on special teams.
Yes. I think that lick was so hard, he might have hurt his shoulder a little bit.
The young man from Newton, Georgia, definitely stepped up big. Jeremiah Gibbs, the young man out of Irondale, Alabama, on the carry. Able to get really about 1 yard.
Yes.
And now he's limping off a little bit. That's not good. They do have some other backs coming in. Daquan Kinsey to spell him. And this front is very formidable. You see Stephon Pierre, big number 30. We haven't called his name yet. Stevens getting some pressure. And this one is ruled incomplete. Looks like the officials are going to discuss it.
Yeah, what I'm impressed with is the throw on the run. The throw on the run. And I think they're going to call this a catch because number 38 for Albany State,
Antoine Gossett
did push him out. So,
1:48.
Or not. But usually he was forced out. But either way, great throw by Stevens on the run.
Gossett, part of this talented group of defensive backs that'll be tested this afternoon. Play is stopped by the officials. Looks like delay of game. So now they're looking at 3rd and 16. And Coach is not happy about that one. And he's like, how could you start the clock because you guys were having a conversation?
And Coach Slater's seen a whole lot in his time, his tenure as a head coach. And like you said, he recognizes when, hey, that's not our fault. It's you guys' fault. Start the clock on time.
Movement across the front. Looks like that may be Aaron Hawkins. And now Coach Slater is not happy at all. Now the offensive line is not doing well. And this year, Coach Slater is not calling plays. He has an offensive coordinator. He has relinquished those duties. So now he is really supervising as a head coach rather than being the play caller and head coach. Inside run goes nowhere fast. Barnes right there on the tackle of Daquan Kinsey. And a punting situation for the Panthers. And so far, Mr. Barnes has been outstanding.
Yeah, Mr. Barnes, you can even say that he was the one that created this defensive drive on this situation, getting Clark Atlanta to punt with that vicious, I'm not going to say vicious, it was a regular football lick that ignited the enthusiasm of the Albany State defense.
Shorter will take it inside his 40. Runs into his own man, gets beyond midfield. Here comes Shorter, and he gets a long return.
Shorter run down on the Panthers.
Looks like we have a flag on the play. And the flag is all the way back at the 16-yard line of Clark Atlanta. Officials just looks like trying to get the yardage. Let's see exactly what the call will be.
Offside, defense, number 40. Holding, offense, number 42. Those fouls, offset, replay, fourth down.
I got to do it over again.
Penalties offset. Offset to repoint.
Now, when they have offsetting penalties, are the coaches upset about it, or are they at neutral, just like the calls? It neutralizes everything.
Well, you don't want to have penalties. I don't care if they're offsetting or if they're actually your defense or offense committing. No one wants to have penalties because basically that is an ME, basically a mental error. So if you're offsides, regardless if it negates each other, you don't want to see penalties, period.
Claudio Quintanilla for his second opportunity on this fourth down punt. Flag again. Shorter bagged up from his own 32. Tries to get to the outside. He does. Gets beyond midfield. Here comes Shorter. Shorter has a lot of room to run. The short and long of it is 10-5. Touchdown, Albany State. Touchdown, Shorter. But there is a flag. Joe Shorter, the senior, is a little tired. Now we're having another discussion, and Joe Shorter proves that on the second time, you can run just as fast there, Tyrone.
Well, what happened on that play, we'll go back and pretty much take a look at it. The punter, that's why you got to have good coverage. You got to have speed on the coverage because the punter out-kicked his coverage. Take a look at it, there was so much distance between the coverage team and the returner, and you cannot have that.
Offside, defense, number 40. That penalty is declined. During the return, illegal block in the back. Return team, number 51. 10-yard penalty enforced from the spot of the foul. First down, Albany State.
And all that hard work goes for naught because it was a block in the back, and Coach G wants to try to find out a little bit more information. Stay tuned. SIAC football presented by Georgia Power. Be back after this.
Time out.
Welcome back to SIAC football, presented by Georgia Power, the presenting sponsor of today's matchup and proud partner of the SIAC member schools and fans and alumni. You see Coach G, he has a 7-0 lead, but looking to build on it. The long return by Joe Shorter called back due to a block in the back, so now the Golden Rams will be working from their own 36. James Red along with Tyrone Poole here in Atlanta, Georgia. Looking for a run is Folks, and he is met at the line of scrimmage, may have been tackled for a loss. And that was Julian Little coming up from the safety position to make the play.
You know, Albany, they have two, whenever you can have two good running backs, Ward and you're seeing Julian, 24 right there for Clark Atlanta, who is
Cam
Ivory. But anytime you can have someone come down and from that safety position and be able to stop the run against a good team like Albany State, that's what you need, because they are a ground and pound team. Two good running backs.
Banu, throw, reception made, good spin move out into Panther territory. And the reception made, good catch there by Ralph Lovett.
Yeah, see right here, just a straight seam route. That's what they call a seam route. Just runs straight up the seam, even though he's not on the hash mark. He just runs a straight up the seam, usually trying to get behind them linebackers, and right there in that soft spot, that sweet spot, try to hit the wide receiver, which Lovett did a great job of holding on to the ball, picks up a big play for Albany State.
Now in the territory of the Panthers. Run by Folks, and he goes nowhere fast. Wrapped up by Zion Wakocha Amos.
Again, like I spoke of, Albany State, they have two good running backs, Ward and Folks. They can interchange those guys, and they both are, their average, when they touch the ball, it's around 4, almost 5 yards a carry. So every time you put it in their hands, you're guaranteed to get at least about 5 yards a carry.
Banu with time, throws long, and contact. Pass intended for Lovett. Defensive back didn't turn around, and he just ran into the receiver.
Yeah, it looks like Lovett is their go-to guy on the deep ball. And anytime that defensive back doesn't
pass
play the
interference,
ball.
defense, number 9, 15-yard penalty, automatic. First down.
The defensive back is beat. Now, even if the defensive back had turned his head around, if Dylan had turned his head around to even pretend like he's looking for the ball, I don't think he would have gotten that call. But when you get beat, that is what happens. You're struggling to catch up, and any receiver, all they have to do is stop and let the defensive back run into them. It's going to be an automatic first down.
Ball moves up to the 22, give the Folks. Trying to find a hole, and he goes nowhere fast. First time we get a chance to call Logan Daniels' name today, along with Jacob Jones. Logan out of Logansville, Georgia, 6'2", 235 linebacker.
Sophomore, so that means he get an opportunity to be another student for 2 more years in Coach Slater's defensive scheme, and hopefully see this Clark Atlanta institution turn it around in the football program.
Shuttle pass, and it goes nowhere fast. Good open field tackle there by Cam Ivory, and Ivory has been playing well early in this game, coming from that safety position. Quickly wraps up Thomas.
Well, that's what you want. That's how you play defense. We talk enough about the offense, but let's watch some of this play about the defense. Boom, catch it, on attack, great wrapping up, squeeze the body, drive the runner to the ground. That's how you want to see defense play.
37, 10-yard penalty, replay, second down.
I think they got the player's number wrong because it was Thomas who was carrying the ball when they called the holding.
Correction. The defense declines the penalty, third down.
All right. Declining it, making it third down and about 20. Movement across the front. Everybody's pointing at everybody else. Now the officials will have to decide what happened.
Offside, defense, number 99, in the neutral zone with contact. 5-yard penalty, third down.
Now, see, this is what I don't get. Now, I know they practice this. Every football program practices where you watch the ball. And as a defensive lineman, you're right there by the ball. Watch the ball. When it moves, you move.
Third and 15. And out of bounds. Could not find an open receiver. And Banu is, I think he's trying to talk to Joe Shorter and says that he went a little bit too long on the route.
Yeah, some miscommunication by somebody. We know that for sure.
And Coach G sends out his field goal unit. They have not connected on a field goal this season. Looking for their first successful field goal for Eli Mashburn. Gilbert Brown will handle the holding duties. Looking at about a 38-yard field goal.
Timeout, Albany State.
Albany calls a timeout with 19 seconds left here in the opening quarter. So he may be rethinking it, huh?
30-second timeout.
Yeah, you know, the last time when they played last year, Albany went up 14-0. They scored 14 points in the first quarter. So if they kick a field goal, they put up double digits in the first quarter each of the last two meetings. And that's how Clark Atlanta fell behind last year, losing 49-0. And against a good team like Albany State, you do not want to get down early in the game.
So if you're Clark Atlanta at this point defensively, do you try to block it?
That's why you're out there. But most of the time, that block is going to come from the push up the middle. So depending on whether or not they got a right block or a left block or a middle block. But the middle, you just got to push the defense, the offensive line back. Then all the D linemen get their hands up and try to block it. Look like they may be coming from the left side of the defense with a left block.
Movement across the front.
Offside, defense, number 95, in the neutral zone with contact. 5-yard penalty, remains fourth down.
Again.
Moves them up 5. So rather than a 42-yard field goal, we're looking at about a 38-yard field goal, 37-yard field goal.
And again, they just shortened the field to make the kick even more makeable. So again, the purpose is to block the kick, like you said. Mashburn here, a real good kicker from Warner Robins. Defensively, push the pocket. Everybody get their hands up.
Kick is up. And those extra 5 yards is good. First field goal of the season for Mashburn as they put 3 more on the board. 10-0 in favor of the Golden Rams with 14 seconds left in the opening quarter. And those extra yards play a big difference.
Yeah, great solid kick. Squeezes it through, but hey, he had a little bit more distance on that kick. So again, that's what you want. That is part of winning, to have a great kicker. And Mashburn, he is showing that even if Albany State cannot get it in the end zone, he's going to put up 3 points for them.
Good job by Eli Mashburn.
Yeah, he's happy. But that's what you want. When you send your kicker out there, you want them to put 3 points up on the board. So that shows me that if Albany State is in a tight game, they got confidence in Mashburn.
Gilbert Brown, the holder, will handle the kickoff duties. And back deep for Clark Atlanta is Brandon Hinton. Hinton will take it at his own 5.
Could we get another big hit?
Gets hit close to the sideline, but a legal hit, and he makes it out to the 25.
Yeah, I'm looking for Barnes. Barnes, I'm like, that's what I'm looking for right now. Every time Albany State kicks the ball off, I'm looking for number 7, man. Where's number 7? Because he got the crowd saying, woo. Where's Waldo?
Oh, yeah. Another series now for Sean Stevens has yet to really get the momentum going in favor of his offense. They trail by 10. 7 seconds left in the opening quarter.
Do you finish out the quarter with a run?
Stevens going to the air and incomplete. Still got 6 seconds left on the, check that, 2 seconds left on the play clock.
Yeah, Stevens, he's going to have to do a real big job, a great job whenever Clark Atlanta throws that football. Because if Clark Atlanta cannot throw the football, what you're going to see Albany State do, they're going to play a whole percentage of man and really tighten down on Clark Atlanta's run game. And Stevens, if they do that, then Stevens has to be able to throw the ball correctly and find an open person.
Should be the last play of the quarter. And a run by Kinsey. And he was able to gain about 2 or 3 yards to bring up a third down situation.
That's the end of the first quarter.
We have played 1 quarter, and Albany State has stepped up big. The Golden Rams, with their marching show band in tow, have played a defensive gem, and their offense done enough to get a 10-0 lead. Stay tuned. More SIAC football coming up. Jalen Slater looking for his first SIAC win as the head coach at Clark Atlanta. Had a lot of wins with the Golden Tigers of Tuskegee in his first season here at Clark Atlanta. James Redd along with Tyrone Poole here in the Magic City, Peach City of Atlanta, Georgia. And it looks like we're ready to start the second quarter as Albany State has a 10-0 lead.
I wonder what's going through Coach Slater's mind right now. What you think going through Coach Slater's mind?
He's saying, let's get this play going.
Oh, man.
All right, we're ready to play. Stevens now looking to throw. Wow, big play and incomplete. And huge pressure coming from the safety position.
Actually, that was a corner blitz, James. They came with a corner blitz, number 38 right there for Albany State. I used to love that play. There's a corner blitz, and usually you run that corner blitz when it's on the short side of the field. That way the corner doesn't have that far to run. It's a zone defense behind it, but it's unexpected for the offensive line. They really don't have a blocking scheme for it, so you kind of hope that DB gets there, just like what you just saw.
Gosner has had a couple of plays so far this afternoon.
Game clock operator, please reset the game clock to 14 minutes, 56 seconds. 14:56 game clock operator.
And plus, Gosner, he's wearing the right number, too.
Thank you.
38. 38 was my old number, so he got the right number.
Wrong, but you were with Fort Valley, their arch rival. But you say go with the number.
No. In the pros, I had 38. So I'm already putting pro level on Gosner right there.
Love it back deep. And he says get away from it. And there's a scrum for the ball. Looks like the up back for Albany State didn't get the message. Ethan Bell, one of the special teamers, was scrapping to try to hold on to the football. Short punt there by Quintanilla, and with the shadows coming over, may have been hard for it. Let's take another look.
Yeah, Quintanilla had a little bit of pressure on him. Boom, right there. He had to get rid of that ball, but he gets it off. And then everybody got to get up and cover.
And Quintanilla's got to learn that you, as a punter, you got to be somewhat of an actor.
Well, definitely. Anytime when that pressure gets around you, you want to just fall down, especially when it's like 50-50. Always put the referees in as much of a predicament of throwing the flag as possible. So definitely got to be a good actor.
Another flag on the play.
Start. Offense, number 55. 5-yard penalty. Replay. First down.
Trevor Arrington called for the false start.
Now, see, if I am, the offensive teams, Coach G, nobody likes penalties. Again, every time you get a penalty, it's like one breath taken away from you that you need. Momentum.
Nice flare-out pass, and able to get close to the 30-yard line is Joe Shorter. Shorter seems like he has been the favorite receiver here in the first half.
Yeah, Shorter, again, quick release, could have been a little bit quicker, but he gets the ball out to Shorter. Again, this is a hustle play on defense. You got to be able to stop that quick bubble from the offense.
Second down. Banu getting some pressure. He eludes the defenders, makes it out into the open field inside the 20-yard line, but there is a late flag right at the 22. Good run there by Banu because he was almost wrapped up for a sack.
Yeah, looked like Banu wanted to throw that 87 route.
Holding. Offense, number 24. 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. remains second down.
He wanted to throw that 87 route on the left side, which means that the outside receiver ran a post, the inside receiver ran a corner, but Clark Atlanta came off real good, great read by the corner, so Banu had no choice but to tuck the ball and run it and still picked up some positive yards, but it's all for naught.
So now looking at a second down and about 6 yards to go for the first. Fake the run, and they give it to one of their receivers. And looks like he has enough for the first down. Good reception there by Tyree Taylor coming off the bench at the tight end spot.
Yeah, on that particular play right there, they had two receivers in the same spot. You see it right there, even though 17 shorter, you saw his finishing block, but actually both of them ran a 5-yard hitch. And I'm pretty sure in no offensive scheme, two receivers in the same spot, but still Albany State connected.
Cam Ward on the carry. He's able to get some positive yards close to the 10-yard line.
Now, what I do like about Albany State, the years that we've been covering them, and they are beginning, Coach G is beginning to balance that run, throw offense. We've seen them throw the ball just as much as they have run the ball. I'm pretty sure Coach G going into the NCAA Division II playoffs, he's learned a lot. Plus, he coached at the HBCU All-Star game, so I'm pretty sure he learned a lot from the other HBCU coaches.
Running the option, gets it out to Ward. Ward inside the 10, 5, and knocked out of bounds just short of the goal line. They'll call it at the 2-yard line. Good run there by Cam Ward.
Again, give it to Cam Ward, give it to Fox. You're going to pick up positive yards. Right here, a little bit of option. And when you don't have anybody for the pitch man, or if you have someone for the pitch man, but they do not get up there in time, you're going to pick up big yards. So, again, a big run by Cam Ward right there.
First and goal. Cam Ward looks like he got close, and he is in for the score. Second touchdown of the day for the Golden Rams. A short run by Cam Ward, and they extend their lead to 16.
Yeah, that's what happens when you're playing a team away. You score, and you score often. Right here, just a straight dive with a lead. Offensive line get the great push, enough push for Cam Ward to get that ball over the goal line. Remember, he doesn't have to go over the goal line, but that ball has to go over the goal line.
Banu now and Cam Ward, the two individuals with touchdowns under their belt, point after attempt by Mashburn. Kick is up, and it is good. 11:46 in the first half. The rushing attack doing its job. Golden Rams, when they get inside the 5, it's been like automatic. SIAC football presented by Georgia Power. More coming up.
Trophies, awards, medals.
They show your hard work paid off.
In a game of life, there are also trophies.
They look like an organized financial plan to pay for your college, maybe even graduate school.
Buying a house is a trophy.
Starting your own business, that's a championship trophy.
To help students gain the financial savvy to succeed at life, UBS has teamed with EverFi and the Southern Intercollegiate Athletic Conference to create Elevate.
Elevate delivers personalized financial training, access to wellness workshops, and career development programs, all for free and designed exclusively for SIAC communities.
Financial freedom, that's the ultimate trophy. Get started today at ubs.com/elevate.
When you're part of something bigger than yourself, it feels like all you ever do is win, win, win. And when that something is an HBCU, you know you can't help but win, win, win. So, as proud supporters of HBCU programs, we just can't lose.
At Georgia Power, millions of Georgians depend on us to deliver clean, safe, reliable, and affordable energy. That's why we've invested nearly $10 billion to make the electric grid stronger and smarter, and to improve service and reduce outages. By deploying high-tech, self-healing networks, we can find problems quickly, reroute power, and keep Georgians connected. We're committed to making critical investments to meet our customers' needs today and for decades to come.
Since 1837, historically black colleges and universities have been fulfilling their purpose to educate and empower. Since 2009, the Home Depot's Retool Your School Campus Improvement Grant Program has also been powered by a purpose to update, upgrade, and uplift HBCU campuses. Today, 44 million votes, $4.1 million, and 147 grants later, we remain inspired by the people, the passion, and the power of HBCUs to continue our purpose. Learn more at retoolyourschools.com.
And they are grilling here on the campus of Clark Atlanta. You know, at one time, Atlanta was known as one of the barbecue capitals of the South. We'll see what he's cooking coming up. James Red along with Tyrone Poole. And Tyrone, I think they may have a plate over there with our name on it.
I know that's right. Some good barbecue, nothing like it. Put that chicken on that. I'm pretty sure Coach G, you know, he's probably already licking his fingers, already thinking about that plate after the game. Good old barbecue.
17-0 now in favor of the Golden Rams. Clark Atlanta trying to get on the scoreboard. Going to kick it deep. And working out of his own end zone, trying to find some room to run. And does. A good return there by Brandon Hinton. Out to about the 26-yard line. And they got some words being said there by Mr. Hinton. They're not going to go away quietly. Even Coach Slater said that he likes the energy of this team. He said that during preseason camp, that they came in with a lot of energy.
Well, I think they need to get their energy up because in the first quarter, Clark Atlanta only had 8 plays in the first quarter compared to 21 plays by Albany State, and that's why they find themselves 17 points down in the second quarter. So they need to get themselves going with their energy.
And Sean Stevens will stay on the side. New quarterback coming in is Sharif Brown, the junior out of Atlanta. And looks like regardless of the quarterback, when they tried to run the football, goes nowhere fast.
And I tell you what, James, Stevens, the first quarter, no receiver caught a pass. He attempted to throw the ball only 2 times so in the first quarter, and no receiver had a catch. Versus Albany State, they threw the ball 9 times, completed 5, and threw it to 4 different receivers. So Clark Atlanta needs to get this offense going. So the quarterback is the focal point and the trigger man on any particular team, but definitely is important here with Clark Atlanta.
This is the first opportunity to see action of Sharif Brown, and he eludes the defenders trying to get back to the line of scrimmage, and that may have been the toughest 1-yard gain that we've seen. He was finally put down by DeShazio Williams, but Sharif basically fighting for his life.
Well, it looks like to me it doesn't matter who gets in there. Albany State, their defense is going to play like they played from the first kickoff to right now. And the thing about bringing in a new quarterback, and remember, Coach Slater is conditioned to doing this. He will switch quarterbacks on you at any time. He did it at Tuskegee, and he's doing it right here at Clark Atlanta.
3rd down and 12. Brown getting pressure, and now he's off to the races. Has enough for the first down and quickly goes out of bounds. And now we've got a flag because we've got some pushing and shoving going on in the backfield, way out beyond midfield to the 46-yard line of Albany State.
Every time there's a breakdown like this, James, somebody did not control the rush. And the defensive end for Albany State did not control the rush, allowed the quarterback to scramble and pick up a big play. You got to be able to contain the quarterback. They call that contained rush. Push the pocket, but make sure you stay at the level of the quarterback.
Run, holding, offense, number 17. 10-yard penalty enforced from the end of the run. Replay, third down.
So any little thing that any little momentum Clark Atlanta gets, they take it away by doing something. Again, this is Coach Slater's first year here. They're beginning to understand how he coaches and his methodology of being a winning coach. So he's trying to change these kids' mentality. And penalties is where it all starts. Do not make it hard for yourself by putting yourself in a tough situation by making mental errors. That's what they call ME.
And you see Coach Slater, he is going after the official, the sideline official, and he may get called for something on soon. Brown looking to throw, really can't find anybody. He tries to get back to the line of scrimmage, and it just be a matter of a spot. But right there, big number Josh Hill, Agent Zero, stepping up big.
You know, you talk about Coach Slater being upset. Sometimes, you know, as a coach, you can't scream at your staff. You can't scream at the players. So sometimes you take it off on the referees. Even if it's something simple and minor, you take that opportunity to scream and yell because you're probably upset about the way the team is playing. But again, Coach Slater, he's been around the block a long time. Great coach. Tuskegee took him to a lot of championships, Division II playoffs.
Holding. Defense, number 20. 10-yard penalty from the previous spot. Automatic first down.
Defensive holding on the run. That's pretty rare.
Well, usually what happens on that is when the defensive player won't allow a guy to go. Sometimes you can run schemes. Like they may run a tech stunt, tackle in an end. And sometimes it calls for that tackle, if that end is coming underneath, that they have to hold the guy to allow the other player to get into that gap. So sometimes it happens in the secondary. You just try to hold, and sometimes the referee calls it. It's built into the scheme of the defense at times.
Brown running the option, gets it out to Gibbs, and they string that one out for a loss. Good job there on the pursuit. Malik Barnes and company, a lot of white shirts there on pursuit.
Yeah, pursuit is great by Albany State, and that's what you want. And you mentioned earlier, James, playing with energy. No matter if you're blocking, throwing, or running, you got to play with energy. And really, I don't see that energy coming from Clark Atlanta. Even on that run there, didn't really see Gibbs running that ball with energy. But you saw Albany State defense pursuing with energy. There were a lot of blue and gold white jerseys around that football.
2nd and 12. Brown finds a receiver, and he pays the price as soon as he makes the catch. But it's enough to make a 3rd and short.
There's my guy, Barnes, number 7.
Good reception
He's around the
there.
ball, somebody going to get hit.
No doubt. Good reception by Devon McCoy.
Now, that was a great throw by Brown there. He actually threw it behind back shoulder because actually Brown, 2 Browns, the quarterback Brown 13 and Brown number 8 for Albany. Brown for number 8 Albany was actually in the vicinity, and he had to throw it back shoulder. But Malik Barnes, man, he's that guy for Albany State.
Pitch and catch. Looks like they have enough for the first down. Hinton makes the reception. He is known as a return man, but also a talented receiver.
A little bit of roll to the throwing side of the quarterback Brown, which makes it an easy hitch and go. On that particular route right there, they had a hitch and a 7 behind it. So kind of put the defensive back in a predicament there, which made it an easy throw and catch for Clark Atlanta right there. Great catch by Hinton. Great throw by Brown.
Keeping this drive alive. This is the longest drive Clark Atlanta has had all game. First quarter, they had negative 12 yards of total offense.
And actually, in the first quarter, no receiver had a reception.
Now getting beyond midfield is Jeremiah Gibbs. And it seems as though his job is just to keep the defense honest right now.
Well, what I think Albany State needs to do, they need to continue. I'm beginning to see them allow Clark Atlanta to get back into this game. Albany State has to keep what we call the foot down. Continue to play like you played in the first quarter. But for Clark Atlanta, you don't want to play like you played in the first quarter. So all those black hats right there that you see, they, on offense, you're beginning to see another type of tempo with them. So maybe it's Sharif Brown, number 13, the quarterback. That changeup actually gave the offense a little bit of life.
Bringing a blitz, and wow, this time he is sandwiched and brought down for a loss. Back into Clark Atlanta territory. There were a number of people there to wrap him up. Jalen Pugh, just to name a few.
Yeah, that defensive line for Albany State gets the sack, but that's what we call as defense. That is a coverage sack. Coverage sack. That means that the quarterback sat there in the pocket for so long, patting the ball, he had nowhere to throw, and that defensive line kept pushing, and they finally got the sack. And vice versa, there are plays where the defensive line puts such a great rush on the quarterback that the quarterback throws the ball sooner than he wants to, and you get an interception. So everybody works together on defense.
3rd down and 10. Looks like the timeout was called by Coach Slater because the play clock was almost at 0.
Timeout. Clark Atlanta.
We'll take a break. We come back. We'll see if Clark Atlanta can keep this drive alive as they trail by 17. And looking at 3rd down and 10, back to SIAC football presented by Georgia Power. Clark Atlanta trying to keep their longest drive of the game alive. New quarterback Sharif Brown in for Sean Stevens, and this is Sharif Brown's first action of the season. Sharif seeing some pressure, breaks the line of scrimmage, and he's off to the races. Gets a 1st down and more, and Sharif Brown looks like he has been the spark for this offense.
Well, if you look at this play, you don't see the defensive line right quick, but Albany State had this play locked down. They should have had the sack. Albany State actually shifted their defensive line to the offset back, which Clark Atlanta offensive line did not have a person-to-person to block. And they were able to get to Brown, but Brown was able to use his athletic ability and escape and pick up positive yards. But it was a great defensive shift by Albany State on that play to even put that pressure on the quarterback.
Down to the 35-yard line of the Golden Rams. Inside run, trying to make it to the outside is Daquan Kinsey, and he's able to get some positive yards, 2 yards on the game.
So between the running of Sharif Brown and Kinsey, the running back right there, going to the sidelines right now, number 6, this is pretty much what Clark Atlanta has going. Now, the one thing I can say for Clark Atlanta, they have completed some passes. So that's good news.
Jeremiah Gibbs comes back in to spell Kinsey at the running back spot. Sharif looking to throw. Incomplete. The intended receiver, Brandon Hinton, had to come back to it and just couldn't make it in time.
Now, see, this is where Sharif Brown, he has to take what the defense gives him. On that particular play, they had a short motion by the outside receiver who ran across him. And the crossing route was wide open. So what Sharif has to do, he has to be able to see that free runner and actually throw the ball to where the defense tells you. But on that play, he wanted the deeper route. It wasn't there. So now Clark Atlanta finds themselves in the 3rd down and long.
Trying to go for their 2nd straight 3rd down conversion on this drive. Brown can't find anybody. Now he's going, this time he is tripped up. Good shoestring tackle there by Josh Hill.
And one thing I see about Albany State defense, they are disciplined. They're a little bit disciplined. They're rushing, but they also try to stay in their lane, except for that play right there. Number 41 for Albany State runs up the field a little too far. Looks like that was Sutton, 41, that allowed Brown to escape. Sutton, number 41, went up too far up the field for Albany State, and Sharif Brown took advantage of it.
They need to get to the 25 for a first down. 4th down for the Panthers. Brown, once again, he's going to run, and he gets hit right at the 25, but leans forward to the 24 for a first, and he's showing that arm, move the chains.
Brown drops back. Nobody's open. First read. He takes off and runs it. Now, again, I like to see what Sharif Brown is doing right there. Yes, that is a first down. But you also notice that he did not go through his progression reads. He looked at the primary receiver. Receiver wasn't open. And maybe that's what the coaching staff has told him. But he picks up a first down for Clark Atlanta, and they still had the ball moving down the field.
Still a prime pressure. And looks like that was an incomplete pass intended for Elijah Odom, one of the wide receivers for the Panthers.
Yeah, don't look like
offense. Number 70. 10-yard penalty. Remains first down.
Kobe McCorvey called for that.
Yeah, again, I think that ball was thrown in the ground because Sharif didn't really have good technique, balance when he threw that ball, and he actually threw it into the ground.
And once again, for people just joining us, Coach Slater is not calling the plays this year. He's really taking a supervisory role as a head coach to the utmost. He has an offense coordinator and a defense coordinator.
Yeah, I think because Coach Slater, he didn't bring anybody with him. So Clark Atlanta already had an offensive coordinator here. So I think that's probably why we see Coach Slater really not calling the offensive plays.
Brown eludes one defender, but he can't get out of the arms of Josh Hill. And Josh gets another sack. Came into this game with 1 sack. Now he gets another.
Yeah, dropping back again. Albany State with the rush. Browns eludes. Couldn't quite get away from 0-0 right there, Hill. So Albany State makes a great play by Hill, who saves the day.
2nd and long. Call it 22. Brown can't find anybody. Going to try to run again, and this time he's brought down again. May have gotten back to the line of scrimmage. Big number 95, Chase Welsh, in on the tackle.
Hey, you know, that's what you're used to seeing When I say used to seeing defensive linemen, they had a number 95, 70, but then once the NCAA said that you could wear pretty much any number, now you're seeing people like 0, Mr. Hill for Albany State. So, but it's always good to see a number 95 defensive lineman making a play.
Third down. Sharif Brown on the throw. Catch made. Great play there by Brandon Hinton. And once again on third down, they convert and able to move it down to the 11-yard line. Good pitch and catch.
Good balance, good slide to the left side, deliver a good throw.
Clark Atlanta.
To hit, picks up a first down for Clark Atlanta.
Game clock operator, please reset the game clock.
We'll take a break along with them. We'll come back. We'll see if Clark Atlanta can put numbers on the board as they trail by 17.
Yo, new Sprite? No, same Sprite, new bottle. It's kinda like same floater, new heights.
Same jam, new style points.
Same pregame, new drip.
Same spokes, new person.
Same ice, new tray. That's cold.
New bottle, same refreshing Sprite.
With Academy Sports and Outdoors, you can take outdoor fun to a whole new level with just a touch of a button. Because there's so much to discover on the Academy app. Create your dream outdoor living space that gets the whole family out there spending time together. Master new recipes with just the right amount of heat and the perfect spice or seasoning. And give the kids even more ways to play. Great times are waiting. Download the Academy Sports and Outdoors app today.
At Georgia Power, millions of Georgians depend on us to deliver clean, safe, reliable, and affordable energy. That's why we've invested nearly $10 billion to make the electric grid stronger and smarter, and to improve service and reduce outages. By deploying high-tech, self-healing networks, we can find problems quickly, reroute power, and keep Georgians connected. We're committed to making critical investments to meet our customers' needs today and for decades to come.
Welcome back to SIAC football presented by Georgia Power. Sharif Brown coming off the bench, been a spark for the Clark Atlanta offense. Now they're looking at 1st and goal. And now Coach G runs out and calls a timeout after he sees the alignment of Clark Atlanta.
Albany State.
10 seconds left.
Timeout of the half.
We'll take a break with them, and we come back. We'll see what defense Coach G will set up. And after both coaches call timeout, Sharif Brown trying to find a way into the end zone. Ball is tipped in and out of the hands of the intended receiver, Devin McCoy.
Yeah, Devin McCoy, 6'6". You know this is coming, a jump ball. He's 6'6". You're down inside the 10-yard line, straight fade route, but great play by number 38 right there, man. I love that number, 38 Goins. Is that 38?
And now you see Coach Slater talking to his young quarterback.
30, that's a beautiful number, man. Look at that number, 38. This is so beautiful.
Claudio Quinilla for the field goal. And looks like it was going to be blocked, but play was stopped before he was able to kick.
Delay game, offense, 5-yard penalty, remains second down.
Delay game called on Panthers.
And Quintanilla gets another opportunity.
Please reset the game clock to 5 seconds. 5 seconds on the game clock. Thank you.
5 seconds now on the game clock. Claudio Quintanilla for a 32-yard attempt.
Like a left block by attempt by Albany State.
And it hits the upright and is no good. And the defense holds, and Quintanilla is like, wow, can I get that one back? And it hits the left upright and doesn't go through.
That is the end of the first half.
It's rare that you see it, but it can happen.
That's what happens when you get penalties. They hurt you, put you in a more predicament of a situation, made it a little bit longer.
Take another look at the kick.
Left rush by Albany State, and the kicker, sometimes they see that rush coming, and that can affect the angle and trajectory of the kick.
And for Clark Atlanta, they lead the first half with no points. And for Albany State, the Golden Rams, they have a scare, but their defense and special teams hold. And for Deontay Banu, and now we're joined by head coach Gabe Gardenia. Coach Gardenia, first of all, your defense stepped up big. They bend, but they did not break.
Yeah, you know, doing a good job on first and second down, but we got to get the quarterback contained on third down. Too much scramble, too much, getting out of our pass rush lanes, and so we got to kind of settle them down. But a great job of getting the stop there, and, we're real proud of them.
Offensively, you've used that two-back combo of Folks and Ward. How do you continue that in the second half?
Well, I just think we got to go with the hot hand, keep them both fresh. It's really a lot of the credit goes to our O-line and tight ends, too, and just trying to be creative to get the ball in those guys' hands. We got to complete some passes down the field, though. We got people open. We just haven't hit them yet.
All right, Coach. Thank you so very much. Good luck to you in the second half.
Thank you.
17-0 in favor of the Golden Rams, reigning SIAC champions. They've been able to do it on the ground with Cam Ward and Marcus Folks and find their way into the end zone. 17-0 your score. Stay tuned. Halftime here at Panther Stadium on the campus of Clark, Atlanta. SIAC football presented by Georgia Power. The Golden Rams of Albany State with a 17-0 lead. Welcome back, everybody. I'm James Redd along with Tyrone Poole. And Tyrone, this is an important game because it's an SIAC game. This is the first matchup of the season in the SIAC for Albany State, and they're trying to repeat as champs.
Well, every game is important. It doesn't matter who you're playing. Every game is important. You just want to win the ones that you're supposed to win. And Albany State, right now, on the scoreboard and in the stats, are the better team today.
Well, they're trying to win the East. Let's take a look at the SIAC and see who else is winning today around the SIAC. Fort Valley, they went up to West Virginia and defeated Bluefield State, and Miles College on the winning side against Central State. And you see Savannah State trying to get it rolling as they pitch a technical shutout against Morehouse, only limiting them to a field goal. And you see Tuskegee, under their new head coach, gets a win against Allen. Lane College, that's one of those teams out there that's pretty awesome.
Yeah, Lane College, they are a team to be reckoned with.
Benedict with a 14-7 lead over Kentucky State. Those are your scores around the SIAC. Stay tuned. When we come back, we'll have more halftime. 17-0, the Golden Rams with the lead. Halftime here at Panther Stadium as the sun begins to set. SIAC football presented by Georgia Power. Golden Rams with a 17-0 lead. James Redd along with Tyrone Poole. Tyrone, if we look at the stats, it looks like the Golden Rams are running away with it, but that's not the case. Clark Atlanta found offense in the second quarter.
Well, actually, in the first quarter, it did look like Albany State would run away with the game. They had way more plays than Clark Atlanta did. But in the second quarter, somewhere or another, Coach Slater said, hey, guys, let's get it together. That energy you talked about. And actually, Clark Atlanta had many more plays in the second quarter.
Let's take a look at those highlights. And it looked like it was going to be all Albany State to start off. Big sacks early and often in this one from the defense. And Deontay Banu, he says, you know what, if I can't find somebody, I'm just going to try to take it on for myself and run to try to extend the drive. Then he's going to take it himself, get the first score of the game off of a broken play, point after attempt good, and then special teams very big, but that huge hit. What you call that one?
That's a running lot. Woo lick.
Malik Barnes on the hit. And then after they get turned over on downs, a good pitch and catch, passing offense working well, and then a quick field goal that makes it 10-0. Eli Mashburn with his first field goal of the season. That was a success. And then here comes Cam Ward. The two-back combo of Mark Fultz and Cam Ward. Cam punches it in from 1 yard out to make it 17-0. Quinn Ladilla had an opportunity to get the field goal, but it goes off of the upright. 17-0 your score. More halftime. Stay tuned. Nighttime starting to set here in Atlanta, Georgia. Clark Atlanta taking on Albany State. SIAC football presented by Georgia Power, 17-0 in favor of the Golden Rams. Tyrone, this is a situation where if you look at the statistics, it looks like it's heavily favored the Golden Rams, but Clark Atlanta really had the momentum going into the locker room.
Yeah, what Clark Atlanta has to do, they got to take advantage of opportunities. They cannot continue to commit any type of penalties. MEs is what I call them, mental errors. And we saw Coach Slade on the sideline. He had that face on like, come on, guys. He was screaming at the referees because I'm pretty sure he didn't want to scream at the players. So
no doubt about it.
They can get back into the game if they just stay focused.
Let's take a look at the halftime stats. 17 points. And you look at the first downs heavily in favor of the Golden Rams. And the total yards, a misnomer in the first quarter, -12 for the Panthers.
Again, that first quarter stat, Albany State had 21 plays in the first quarter. Clark Atlanta only had 8. So, but the second quarter, Clark Atlanta had just as many opportunities offensively as Albany State. That's why you see that number start to rise a little bit.
And the momentum that we talked about, 2 for 7 on third down conversions, all of that happening in the last 6 minutes of the second quarter. Penalties a bugaboo for the Panthers, 9 for 63.
Yeah, penalties, they will hurt any type of drive or team.
And we'll get ready for the second half. Right now, we've seen Albany State offense click at times, but can their defense continue the shutout? Stay tuned. Welcome back to SIAC football on ESPN Plus, presented by Georgia Powell. The Golden Rams with a 17-0 lead, but Clark Atlanta had the momentum going into the locker room. And we're joined now by Coach Willie Slater. Coach Slater, first of all, you make a change at quarterback with Sharif Brown. How important was that to gain the momentum and get your offense going?
Well, yeah, he made some really good plays with his legs, which helped us. We're still not reading it like we want it to be read, but we did have enough momentum to drive it down and have an opportunity to get a score.
How important is it to try to get your run offense going as you start the second half?
It's very important. Very disappointed in our efforts as far as that goes. But we've talked to him. Hopefully, we'll come back out. We get to get the ball first, and our goal is to try to take it down and get some points.
All right, Coach. Thank you so very much. Good luck to you.
Yes, sir.
And thanks for Coach Slater for joining us. And these young men know that they can, as they say, play with the SIAC champion. But now we'll see if they can score.
Yeah. Well, Clark Atlanta should be feeling good about themselves because this time last year, again, Albany State beat them 49-0. So that has to be in the back of those players' minds that were here last year. But also, as Clark Atlanta, those players that were here last year, they look at the scoreboard now, they're only down 17, whereas last year they were down 35 points going into halftime. So that in itself, plus they did hold the ball and run more plays than Albany State did in the second quarter. So with those two things there, I expect Clark Atlanta, at least on this drive, to show a lot of momentum.
Gilbert Brown to kick off, Alvin Jones to return, and this one will go out of the end zone for a touchback.
That is a pretty good kick to kick the ball where it goes into the end zone, no return. So great.
And now it's important to see who'll be the quarterback coming out. Starting the game was Sean Stevens. And then we saw Sharif Brown come in and get his first action of the year. And he was able to really propel this team using his legs, as Coach
You got to go with the hot
said.
hand. You got to go with the hot hand. Look like Brown is the guy. He moved the ball consistently with his legs and threw a few passes, but he was able to move the ball for Clark Atlanta. And that's why they had a great second quarter.
Gibbs in the backfield along with Brown. They're going to give it to Gibbs, and he's trying to get to the outside, but that good pursuit defense is right there to wrap him up. Good open field tackle there by Malachi Brown.
Yeah, as a defense, what you want to do, any type of outside run, you want that running back to go east-west. That means have him to go from sideline to sideline. And what Clark Atlanta and their running backs have to do, they have to, like Gibbs, they have to put that foot into the ground, turn it up. Don't continue to run to the sideline because the pursuit is going to run you down, plus you run it to the sideline, which is another defensive player.
2nd and 10. Brown getting some pressure. Catch is made into Albany State territory, and that's enough for a first down and more. Devon McCoy, the tall receiver, stepping up big.
Yeah, I like the fact that he delivers a good ball, a great throw. Just let the 6'6" guy jump up and catch it. Use his ability. He's 6'6". Throw it up to him. And you're going to come down with a play like that every time. First down, McCoy says. But again, Sharif, if that's the guy he got to go to, McCoy, eye him, spy him down, get the ball into his hands. Right now, McCoy is the guy making plays for Clark Atlanta.
Ball now at the 38-yard line of the Golden Rams, trying to run it again and finding at least 1 yard is Jeremiah Gibbs.
Yeah, again, give it to Gibbs. But if it was me, if I'm on the sideline, I'm drawing up all plays right now for the hot hand. McCoy, find McCoy, get him open. And then I think it'll open up the run for Gibbs. And I think Sharif Brown can deliver that ball. He just threw a good pass right there. Again, get it to your hot hand, take advantage of the defense, and see if they can cover 6'6". McCoy.
Personal foul, unnecessary roughness, defense, late hit, number 38. 15-yard penalty added to the end of the run. First down.
Late hit called on number 38, Antoine Gosser.
Now see, 38.
Thank you.
Let's check and see what I did out there. I'm sorry. That's Gosser. That's the other 38. But it didn't look like it was a penalty to me, James.
Brown on the keeper gets to the 20-yard line and inside the 20 to the 19.
I know a lot of people like, what Tyrone talking about? What did he do out there? Well, 38 was the number I wore in the pros, so 38. So Gosher, he's wearing 38, and that's who they were trying to call the penalty on, but didn't look like it was a penalty.
Sharif Brown coming in to spell for Sean Stevens in the second quarter, and now he continues to run the offense here in the third.
No, it's Sharif Brown. This is not his first time. He actually threw the ball a lot for Clark Atlanta last year, so, this is a familiar spot for him.
Getting some pressure, and he goes down, keeps his feet, gets to the line of scrimmage, and may have got one more. That second effort was incredible by Brown there because he was wrapped up.
Yes, second effort is good, but also there are people wide open. Wide open. There are guys, if they're going to come with a blitz, then somebody has to be open. Right there, you see the blitz coming. Sharif Brown, once he saw the blitz coming, his thoughts, let me turn to my legs. But if he could just hang in there just a little bit longer, and he'll find some open receivers that could pick up some big yards for Clark Atlanta.
3rd down and 7. They were able to convert twice on 3rd downs in the second quarter. Brown getting some pressure. He'll lose one defender. A flag is thrown, and he gets close to the first down, maybe about 3 yards short. But let's see what the flag is. And Stephon Pierre on the stop.
Offense, number 72. 10-yard penalty. Replay, 3rd down.
Nicholas Solomon called on that, and you can see the disgust on Coach Slater's face.
Yeah, on that particular play right there, Sharif was intending to go to Ronnie Brown, I believe. Ronnie Brown had a slight motion from the left side. He ran like a drag route, but the Albany State defender was in good position, so Sharif Brown had to eat the ball, and that is why that play did not formulate like it was. But Sharif was eyeing down number 10, West, who looked like he was open.
3rd down and 18, Brown. And the receiver did not turn around, so incomplete. Looks like they had a miscommunication intended for Brandon Hinton.
Yeah, sometimes what bothers me, certain offenses, the go route. They have 4 receivers, just run straight up the seam. That's good, but I think you should have a safety valve. Either it's the running back who's coming out the backfield, checking out late when you have 4 verticals, or you have an outside receiver that runs a short route. Because the defense is going to play the deep ball, but you also want to have somebody on short routes. But again, could have had miscommunication by the receivers on that play also.
Claudio Quintanillo for his longest field goal attempt of the season. Kick is up, and it is short by about 3 yards and no good. Good effort there by Quintanillo.
Yeah, great effort. There's a little bit of deflation, I think. It takes a little bit of a gut blow to you. And when I say a gut blow, it's a hard hit to the stomach because you're already down 17-0. And then you don't put no points on the board. Sometimes those when they hold the ball, you're supposed to hold it and tilt it slightly. And look like on that hold right there, the ball was just straight up vertical.
Yeah, and Ronnie West is like, wait a minute, what happened? What did I do wrong? Banu trying to find a receiver and almost intercepted, but incomplete. Right there on the coverage is Nwoka Amos. And it's tip, and nobody picks it up. And Coach G now wants to try to get those passes completed. We talked to him going into the locker room. He's expecting Deontay Banu to try to make the adjustment. Shuttle pass, able to get some positive yards and keep it going, enough for the first down before he is knocked out of bounds. Tyree Taylor, the tight end.
Yeah, it looked like it was a little bit slow developing there, but he was able to push it out to Tyree, the tight end. He picks up positive yards for Albany State. Nice play by Mr. Taylor there, number 11. We've called his name a couple times during this actual game.
12-yard gain, ball out to the 41. On the run, Marcus Folks, and Folks may have gained one, possibly two, before he's brought down.
You know, when I look at Albany State and I look at what Coach Gardenia is doing there, it's like you take the SEC, Southeastern Conference, you take the SIAC, Southern Intercollegiate Athletic Conference, and Alabama is supposed to be pretty much the team in the SEC. But when you look at the SIC, do you consider Albany State kind of like that Alabama, where they are the front runner every year?
It seems as though it's been that way since Coach G has been there, and he took some time to get over the hump to get his first title, but he has gotten over that hump, and now his team is really taking command of the league. But flag is thrown, reception made, and knocked out of bounds. It appears to be a first down, but Ralph Lovett may have to bring it all back after the reception. And the flag is all the way back at midfield.
This is the second time they run this route.
Offside, defense, number 94. That penalty is declined. Result of the play, first down.
They get to keep it. Move the chains.
Yeah, this is the second time that they run this play. It's kind of, again, you heard me say 87. You see that post going across the screen right there with number 13 right there for Albany State. Lovett actually ran a corner route. So it's an 87. There's a post from the outside and a corner route from the inside receiver, which was Lovett.
Folks on the carry get some tough yardage, about a 5-yard gain inside the 35 down to the 34. And now we're starting to see Folks really get his engine going.
Yeah, he's another one of those lead guys in that backfield with Ward. And it's always good to have two running backs. You have a two-headed monster, as they would call it. So that helps a lot when you are running the ball, like Albany State likes to run it.
And we got a player down, big Noah Nelson, the 6'6", 330-pound freshman. He's down. Hopefully he'll get up soon. Stay tuned. We'll have more SIAC football coming up.
Timeout.
Keep your eyes on the horizon 100% of the time. You are a success story in the making. You are ready to take on the world.
You are ready for this.
You will get there from here. And you can't wait to get started. And as proud supporters of HBCUs around the country, we can't wait to see how far you go.
At Georgia Power, millions of Georgians depend on us to deliver clean, safe, reliable, and affordable energy. That's why we've invested nearly $10 billion to make the electric grid stronger and smarter, and to improve service and reduce outages. By deploying high-tech, self-healing networks, we can find problems quickly, reroute power, and keep Georgians connected. We're committed to making critical investments to meet our customers' needs today and for decades to come.
Yo, new Sprite? Nah, same Sprite, new bottle. It's kinda like same floater, new heights.
Same jam, new style points.
Same pregame, new drip.
Same spokes, new person.
Same ice, new tray. That's cold.
New bottle, same refreshing Sprite.
With Academy Sports and Outdoors, you can take outdoor fun to a whole new level with just a touch of a button. Because there's so much to discover on the Academy app. Create your dream outdoor living space that gets the whole family out there spending time together. Master new recipes with just the right amount of heat and the perfect spice or seasoning. And give the kids even more ways to play. Great times are waiting. Download the Academy Sports and Outdoors app today.
Coach G trying to look for another SIAC title. Right now, 17-0, trying to get their first win in conference play. James Redd along with Tyrone Poole here at Panther Stadium in Atlanta, Georgia. Another inside run, and this time Cam Ward comes in. The 1-2 punch of Marcus Fulks and Cam Ward working well for the Golden Rams.
Just like a straight dive or a trap, but either way, it was straight up the gut, and that picked up big yards for Albany State. And again, what I am seeing a little bit different in this Albany State team, they are trying to throw the ball a little bit and make it balanced, run and throw.
Banu gives to Ward, and he tries to cut back ever so slightly. Second effort gets him out beyond the line of scrimmage, maybe 2 yards on the game. Good run there, hard run by Cam.
And what we're going to see again from Albany State, and this is where Clark Atlanta defense has to step it up. They're not out of the game, but the defense has to make a play because you know that Albany State, they're up 17-0. They're going to run the ball. Coach Gardenia is a running coach, and they're up 17-0. So what Clark Atlanta has to do, that front seven, they got to limit the amount of yards, average yards that Albany State picks up on first and second down. Get them in third and long.
2nd and 8. Banu now getting pressure, got a lot of room to run, and he tries to stretch it out, gets inside the 10 down to about the 9. Deontay Banu on the carry.
Several things on this play right here. Number one, no contain man. No contain man. The blitz come, nobody's able to contain. Banu gets out. Second, number 9 right there, Denard, he has to come up and make that quarterback, Banu right there, pay the piper for trying to run the ball. So several things happen on that play from a Clark Atlanta defense. If I'm a defensive coach, I'm like, guys, we cannot play like that. You can't let the quarterback break containment. And if anybody runs that ball, we have to make sure that they know they were tackled by a Panther defensive player.
Give to Cam Ward. And Cam gets it close to the 5-yard line.
And we were just sitting up here talking about tackling, the hardest hit. You were telling me about the hardest hit that you delivered and the hardest hit that you took. And see, even though those licks that you told me about happened years ago, you still remember them, right?
No doubt. No doubt about it.
Just like that lick that Barnes delivered, they're going to always remember that lick. What's the hardest lick you ever took? Well, we were playing Albany State, and I returned the ball. But defense, that's what it's all about. So Clark Atlanta need to deliver another woo lick right here.
Shuttle pass over to Shorter into the end zone. Touchdown, Joe Shorter. Touchdown, Albany State. They expand their lead, put 6 more on the board for the Golden Rams. Joe Shorter, the short and long of it is, those shuttle passes are his go-to thing.
Again, it's a safe play. If it's dropped, then it's just like an incomplete pass. But it could turn out to be a big play if it's connected. And right there, it was connected. Shorter goes in, man-on-man blocking, touchdown.
From Vicksburg, Mississippi. I've been to Vicksburg before. Point after attempt. And this one does not go. It is blocked. The ball is loose. Picked up, and no one will score, but it'll remain 23-0 in favor of the Golden Rams, and that was definitely a botched special teams there, but they were able to get the touchdown off of the shuttle pass. Joe Shorter makes it in to make it 23-0. Stay tuned. Joe Shorter had 3 receptions for 21 yards in the first half, and now he has a touchdown to add on to it. The shuttle pass has been working for this Vicksburg, Mississippi native. Jay Brett along with Tyrone Poole back here at Panther Stadium.
Yeah, Shorter, he's a senior here on this Albany State team, so enjoying his senior year, doing phenomenal things to help Coach G and this Albany State Golden Rams football team hopefully get back into the playoff. Great picture behind Coach G right there, and Shorter.
Kick is a little short to be returned from the 3-yard line, and now they need an offensive spark. And second and third effort, he got knocked out of bounds on that one.
Got to follow your blockers.
And Alvin Jones, the return man, gets up. Now he's trying to help his offense. And big number 38 Antoine Gassier.
Man, thought that number look good. That's a beautiful number. 38. Look at it, man. Just 38. Just beautiful. 3, body, got mind, body, and soul for the 3. And number 8 represents balance, beginning. That's what those numbers mean.
Now, he may say, I just got this number because that was the only one they would give me.
But go look up and see what the number 3 represents and what the number 8 represents.
Sharif Brown, I will look that up. Back in at quarterback. And movement along the front. And we do have a flag. And let's see if we can get the official call.
Side, defense, number 97 with contact, 5-yard penalty, replay, first down.
Number 97, Ty Glenn, one of the reserve defensive linemen from Cairo, Georgia. Called for the infraction. He stands 6'3", 310. And looks like on this carry they may have enough for the first down.
You know, whenever you're near the ball, you can't jump off sides. That's just point blank. And on this particular play right here, I like the fact that Albany State contained, but what I would say that contained man has to squeeze that play a little bit more and would have restricted number 6 right there, Kinsey, from picking up even more yards.
Kinsey has enough to move the chains. Ball now out at the 32. Hand off to Kinsey, and now he gets a lot of room to run, keeps his feet. Second and third effort beyond midfield in the Golden Ram territory. Daquan Kinsey.
Now, I wouldn't be surprised if I saw Coach Slater stay in this formation. This is a balanced formation here. It balances up the D-line and offensive line. They got 2 tight ends, and they got all of the offensive linemen. So that balances up the offense versus the defense. Now you can get a hat on a hat, and I think you're going to probably see Coach Slater use that formation or request that formation a lot more. Even though Clark Atlanta has given different looks, they need to go back to that 2 tight end set they just ran out of.
Movement on the offensive line for Clark Atlanta, and you can see that the players are all pointing at the men in black.
False start, offense, number 89, 5-yard penalty, replay, first down.
And it seems though they take 2 steps forward and 1 step back.
Yeah, you got to keep them steps going forward. And again, I'm a firm believer, James. I'm going to stick with what you cannot stop. I may run another play, but I'm going to come back to what is working. And usually these coaches have at least 3 plays out of 1 formation. So it's not like they're running the same play, but you give them the same formation that has given them trouble. Make them adjust. And then eventually you have a big play come up.
Keeper, Brown, Sharif Brown, inside the 40, the 30, and knocked out of bounds, enough for a first down and more. The longest run of the night for Sharif Brown.
Yeah, if Sharif Brown could keep running like this, and if Clark Atlanta could put up 7 points in this third quarter, I definitely believe it would give them a greater opportunity to come back and possibly win this game. But right now, Sharif Brown is doing a pretty good job with his legs, and Kinsey has been running the ball as well when he's been called upon, number 6, the running back, who's deep in the eye.
From the 30.
Back.
Now going back to the shotgun is Sharif Brown. Gets back to the line of scrimmage, but he is wrapped up and brought down. Malik Barnes right there along with Jalen Pugh to bring down the quarterback.
Yeah, this is where, again, as offensive coordinators, defensive coordinators, this is where that chess match happens. And this is where the coaches are just as important as the players. You study your opponent to know when they have tendencies to blitz. And when they blitz, you always got to have a check off. And also receivers. The receivers are called upon to be able to help the coaches. Whenever they see a blitzing linebacker, they cut their route off, which enables the quarterback to get rid of the ball sooner. And on that play, no one checked off, but it was a great pickup by Kinsey, but still, Brown had nowhere to throw the ball.
This time, second effort by Brown, and he's able to get maybe 3 yards. Sharif Brown came into the game in the second quarter, has not played all year, and he has definitely provided a spark for this offense that is looking for their first score of the game.
Yeah, you know, Sharif is kind of like the situation out there in San Francisco. Talk a little bit of pros now, pro football. You know, you had Trey Lance go down, and that's kind of like Steven. Steven went down. Now you got Jimmy Garoppolo come in and lead the team. So this is what Sharif Brown reminds me of.
Brown getting some pressure. And incomplete. Pass intended for Darren Stevens. And good coverage there by number 8, Malachi Brown.
Great play. Great play defensively from Hawkins, number 4 for Albany State. Rips the ball, knocks the ball out, incomplete. Puts Clark Atlanta into a 4th and 8. So is Sharif going to do it with his legs or his arm?
Trying to keep the drive alive. He eludes one defender, breaks the line of scrimmage, and gets enough for the first down. And a good stop there by Arenzi Akwu.
And he does it with his legs, people. Again, just enough. Looking downfield, I do like that. He's looking downfield to throw the ball. But then recognizes, hey, let me pick up the yards this first with my legs. So great running, great awareness by Sharif Brown.
If nothing else, they have eaten up a lot of time here in the third quarter. They have had time of possession out of this world.
Well, that's great because actually in the second quarter, we go back and look at it, they actually ran more plays than Albany State in the second quarter.
Good outside run by Kinsey, and he's able to get 6 yards on that carry.
Now, where Clark Atlanta has not taken advantage of that high possession opportunity is on the scoreboard. They've missed field goals. They have not been able to convert and put that ball in the end zone. It's imperative, I believe, and yes, I said imperative, that they put this ball in the end zone. Do not need a field goal here. They need a touchdown to at least have an opportunity to stay in this game.
Once again, another inside run by Daquan Kinsey, and he's close to a first down, brought down right at the 10-yard line.
Again, I said that 2x2, right? Two tight ends, they come right back to it again. And what did it do? It picked up positive yards. Again, that balances up the offense and the defense. That's why that formation actually was derivative of the Washington Redskins, or the Washington Commanders, as they call them now, when Joe Gibbs instituted the two tight end set, because really Lawrence Taylor was the reason why they instituted it, because they could not leave Lawrence Taylor one-on-one with a tight end. But what that formation does, it causes balance for the offense so they can run and throw the ball.
And we have completed.
Clark Atlanta. First charge timeout of the
timeout for Clark Atlanta. We'll check and see if they can close it and get the score. Stay tuned.
When you're part of something bigger than yourself, it feels like all you ever do is win, win, win. And when that something is an HBCU, you know you can't help but win, win, win. So, as proud supporters of HBCU programs, we just can't lose.
At Georgia Power, millions of Georgians depend on us to deliver clean, safe, reliable, and affordable energy. That's why we've invested nearly $10 billion to make the electric grid stronger and smarter, and to improve service and reduce outages. By deploying high-tech, self-healing networks, we can find problems quickly, reroute power, and keep Georgians connected. We're committed to making critical investments to meet our customers' needs today and for decades to come.
With Academy Sports and Outdoors, you can take outdoor fun to a whole new level with just a touch of a button, because there's so much to discover on the Academy app. Create your dream outdoor living space that gets the whole family out there spending time together. Master new recipes with just the right amount of heat and the perfect spice or seasoning. And give the kids even more ways to play. Great times are waiting. Download the Academy Sports and Outdoors app today.
Welcome back to SIAC football presented by Georgia Power. 3 seconds left in the third quarter. James Red along with Tyrone Poole. You see Coach Willie Slater made a quarterback change, and they've been able to move the ball up and down the field, but not in the end zone tonight. Can they make a change and make it happen? Fumble on the play. Ball is on the ground, and Albany State is saying they have it. Flag is thrown from the scrum for the football. And Albany State says that they've got the football. Running off the field very fast is Arenz Akwu. But there is a flag.
I think sometimes when you stay in the gun so much and then you ask your quarterback to come and get up under the center, it kind of puts him in a predicament.
And Akwu should get credit for the fumble recovery, but let's see what the official call will be on the flag.
The ruling on the field was a fumble by the offense, recovered by the defense. After the play, unsportsmanlike conduct on the defense, number 9. That 15-yard penalty will be enforced in the fourth quarter.
And we have ended 3 quarters of play, and every time Clark Atlanta gets close, something bad has happened. They trail by 23. Stay tuned. Georgia Power, a presenting sponsor of today's matchup between Albany State and Clark Atlanta. Georgia Power is a proud partner of the SIAC, and we see Coach G for the
Also,
Golden Rams of
that was number
Albany
90 of Albany
State.
State's
His offense has to work their way
of the game.
out of a hole after an unsportsmanlike conduct ended the third quarter. And now, instead of having it at their 20, it's inside their 10. Inside run by Marcus Folks. Able to continue to work them out of the hole, and he has been their dependable back.
And, you know, what we see right there, again, Folks running again in that formation that Clark Atlanta was running out of that I alluded to, the 2 tight end, 2 wide receivers, single back, and it picked up positive yards. So that formation, I'm telling you, is a good balanced formation to run out of.
Keeping it is Benu. Nobody sees him, and he's off to the races. Deontay Benu, can he outrun the defender? Gets out to midfield. Huge gainer there by Deontay Benu.
Yeah, Harris was the only one between Benu and 6 points for Albany State. Again, quick cut, good block, kick out, turns it up. Watch Harris right there. Tried to go for the ball the first time, but he was able to still bring Benu down. Not before a big pickup by Benu.
About 33 yards on the carry. Ball now out at the 48-yard line of the Panthers.
That'll look good on the stat book.
Oh, yeah. Trying for a pitch and catch. Reception made to Ralph Lovett. And Lovett has come off the bench and been the good, sure-handed receiver, but he really wanted to keep his feet to keep running after the catch.
Oh, he had his pick. He had his pick of which receiver he wanted to throw to. On that particular play, Albany State had 2 seams running up the middle of the field, and both were wide open. So he chose to throw it to Lovett, but he had his pick. Both were wide open.
Option. Run. Got a lot of room inside the 20 down to about the 15. Second time today we've seen Ajanad Thomas. They call him Smurf because he's so small, but he's an effective runner.
You know, they call Barry Sanders was small too. He's effective. So right there, he was effective on that actual run right there. Thomas 5'9", right around Barry Sanders. So, again, quickness, elusiveness, low center of gravity, that's what makes those small running backs good.
Tom is still in the game, carrying the football down to the 10-yard line, make it second down and short.
Again, this is where Albany State, they're just going to pound the ball. That's what they do. They love to run the ball, but they have shown some balance in the throwing game. So you have 37, Thomas, doing a great job. Now they have a 3-headed monster. They got Ward, Falks, and now they got Thomas. So Albany State, and Thomas is a redshirt freshman.
Another carry. Gets inside the 10 to bring up a third down situation. And once again, Thomas on the carry.
If I'm Clark Atlanta, defensive staff, we want to have a pride win. And that's another 38 right there. Which 38 looks the best? The 38 from Clark Atlanta. I like the 38 from Clark Atlanta. It's pretty jazzy right there.
Timothy Jones.
Yeah, it's a nice looking number still. But what Clark Atlanta want to do from a defensive standpoint, they do not want to give Albany State 6 points. Hold them to a field goal. That's a morale booster.
Option, give it to Cam Ward. Cam will waltz into the end zone. Another touchdown for the Golden Rams. And that's the way I think Coach G wanted to see his offense perform at the start of the game.
On that particular play right there, nobody for the pitch man. And again, great call by Albany State. Quarterback pitches and Ward, nothing but green between him and the end zone. Right here you see there's someone for the quarterback, nobody for the pitch man. Touchdown, high stepper.
Cam Ward gets on the scoreboard. And with the point after attempt, this lead can expand. Oh, before you say expand to 30, it's no good. Kick goes wide left. 29-0 is your score. The Golden Rams offense finally clicks on all cylinders as they expand the lead and 1 quarter away from win 1. And now time for our Georgia Power play. And it comes on the kickoff. Malik Barnes says hello to the Panther. And that is our Georgia Power play of the game. And another, yeah, there you go, Tyrone. That is definitely a big hit on any level of football.
Yeah, Barnes right there. Look at his guns, man. He got a pretty little guns. I wonder what he benched. What he looking like, James? Like about... shoulder pass.
I think he may be 325.
325. But that lick felt like 555 that he delivered to Alvin Jones on that kick return we just saw. But hey, that's football, man. That's what we miss in football. I'm like, with all the rules now, hey, believe me, I'm all for safety. But see, Barnes, number 7 right there, he just reminded me of what football really is. It's delivering a clean, hard lick.
Now Clark Atlanta trying to find something offensively to get going. Brandon Hinton on the return, and he is bogged down. Another flag is thrown at about the 23-yard line.
And we've seen a lot of yellow hankies on the ground in this game. A lot of penalties. Well, they're giving the referees work, at least. Giving them practice pulling that flag out of the back pocket.
And you see Coach G, and now he wants his defense to try to put this game on ice and see if they can effort a shutout.
Yeah. Now, see, if I'm Clark Atlanta, and if I want to show Coach Slater something, if I'm the offensive coordinator, they got to throw the ball. Throw the ball, a couple of runs mixed in. It's the fourth quarter, 11 minutes left. You ain't got time to run the ball. Every pass should be pretty much a throw, or every play should be pretty much a pass.
Delay a game against Clark Atlanta. Let's see what the official word is.
Start.
Oh, false start.
Number 89. 5-yard penalty remains first down.
So if I'm Coach Slater, my purpose, well, not just Coach Slater, he wants to win the game. But I'm pretty sure he don't want his first stint at Clark Atlanta versus Albany State, his first stint here at Clark Atlanta versus Albany State, to start with a goose egg on the scoreboard.
Once again, keeping it on the ground as the clock continues to run.
And see, also,
Kitsy on the carry.
And what this does for Clark Atlanta, it gives you an opportunity when you throw the ball, it gives you an opportunity to see what you have in the passing game. It gives opportunity to let you see that, you know what, not only can we run the ball, which Coach Slater likes to do, but it also gives an opportunity to let you see as an offensive staff what your guys can do when they're down.
Another flag down, and let's see what the official call will be. It may push Clark Atlanta back some yards.
There is no foul on the play for a block in the back. Second down.
So they were looking for the block in the back, but it wasn't there.
Yeah, Coach Slater, great coach, man. Been around. He's seen a lot. He was actually coaching in North Alabama. Had a stint at North Alabama as well, didn't he?
Part of one of their numerous championships on the Division II level.
So the guy knows how to win.
No doubt about it. Wrap up and brought down quickly. This defense has been salty all night long. And Agent Zero, Josh Hill, credited for the tackle.
You know, then the players, I believe the players want to win, but sometimes, again, the intangibles, the coaches and the play caller, you know, you have to gauge their feelings too. You're down 29-0.
Offside, defense, number 20, lined up in the neutral zone at the snap. 5-yard penalty, second down.
DeShazio Williams, who plays the defensive back. Now, that's rare for a defensive back to be called for onside.
Yeah, it is. But also, like I said, I was completing that statement. The coaches, they also have feelings. You know, sometimes the coaches go in the tank, and they like, oh, we're down 29-0. And they just start calling average plays. But I'm like, you always, as a player or a coach, you always got to call aggressive plays to either stay in the game or get back into the game. You know, and I'm not saying that's what Clark Atlanta is doing, but you're in a situation, you're down 29 points, nothing on the scoreboard, 10 minutes left in the game. You should be trying to do whatever you can to change the momentum up, to get that ball down the field. Maybe go to a 2-minute offense from here going forward. But you cannot no longer play like you played in the first 3 quarters.
Now the officials having a conference, trying to see exactly what the infraction will be.
Got to get that ball down the field, James.
And looks like we're going to be ready to go. And you see Coach Slater right there talking to the official or listening.
Will be enforced from the 25-yard lines. 5 yards. Remains second down.
Okay. So the offside, they were trying to get the spot correct.
Trips to the top, single down at the bottom.
Reception made, and with second effort, able to get enough for the first down. Devon McCoy, once again, this 6'6" receiver has really shown up tonight.
And again, what we got to do, we got to get the plays, we got to get the offense going. There's no more walking back to the offensive huddle. 9:47, 9:46 left in the game. Clark Atlanta should be having a 2-minute style type of offense here. Hurry up, get the ball, make the play, or get out of bounds, stop the clock. But they should have more of a sense of urgency here. To me, they're taking a lot of time in the huddle. The clock is running. You're down 29-0. You should have a faster pace of offense here.
Brown looking for a receiver. Pitch and catch reception made and slides out of bounds. Good catch there made by Ronnie West.
Yeah, I like that play call. I like the rollout. I like the rollout to the right. What you're doing, you're giving Sharif not only an opportunity to throw to his strong arm side, but you're giving him an option to throw the ball or run the ball. Plus, he's close to the sideline, so he can run the ball and get out of bounds, get as many yards as he can, and then get out of bounds. But again, I would like to see Clark Atlanta have a more of an up-tempo with 8 minutes left in the game.
Brown still looking to go downfield and not having it. Good stop there by big number 4, James Hawkins.
Yeah, Hawkins came up, and it would have been a catch, but that lick, again, just like we saw Barnes, Hawkins comes up and tackles the catch. Brought something with it. He can feel it. He feel that energy.
And it's safe to say that this defense, and you see Hawkins right there, young man, senior out of Fayetteville, Georgia, they play inspired football.
Yeah, definitely. You got to play. Defense is all about energy. Energy is not lost, it's transferred. So that's why on defense, we used to tell ourselves, you got to pass that energy along. Energy is transferable. It's not lost.
And good to see that young man finally got up, Darren Stevens, as he goes to the sideline. And this defense is really on a mission. They were one of the top defenses last year in the conference and nationally, and they're trying to continue that trend. Second and 10, trying to go wide, can't do it, and now a lot of white shirts just sling him to the ground. Leading the way, big number 41, Arliss Sutton, linebacker, coming in here in the fourth quarter.
Again, tempo. I like to run, but again, depends on, again, the offensive coordinator, what they're feeling. But you got to, get the ball down the field, 3rd and 14. And the other thing that I haven't seen a lot of, from neither team, so to speak, the screen, wide receiver screen, running back screen, tight end screens. I think those are still big, effective plays. Got another false start by the offensive line.
Movement across that front for Clark Atlanta.
Offense, number 66. 5-yard penalty, remains 3rd down.
Austin Euler called for the offside, false start.
We've seen defensive players jump from Clark Atlanta. We've seen offensive players false start from Clark Atlanta. So again, this is Willie Slater, Coach Slater's first time here in Clark Atlanta. So I'm pretty sure it's still a learning curve. But I believe Coach Slater is going to have that corrected, not only by the next game, but definitely next year.
Brown getting pressure, and he is tripped up. May have gotten to the line of scrimmage, but may have lost a yard. Bring up 4th down and 20. They're going to credit big number 94, Anthony Harvey, for what could be a sack.
Now, what's going to be interesting to see when Albany State gets the ball, I know what they're going to do. They're going to go in what they call a 4-minute offense. And what's a 4-minute offense? Where you take your time, snapping the ball, you run the clock down to the very last seconds as much as you can before you snap the ball. 4-minute offense. Whereas Clark Atlanta should have had the 2-minute offense going.
High snap. Quintanilla was able to get it off. And now on the return is Albany. Joe Shorter trying to make something happen. And he can't find the room that he wants, but able to get some positive yards out to the 31-yard line. 6:43 left to play, and it's all Albany State right now as they look for their first victory of the season in the SIAC. And looks like we'll have a new quarterback at the helm for Albany State, Jaden Sullivan, the sophomore, 5'11", 180, replacing Deontay Banu with a 29-0 lead in favor of the Golden Rams here on the road in Atlanta, Georgia at Clark Atlanta University. Another inside run for a short gain.
Yeah, this is the point, James, where you start giving everybody an opportunity to come into the game, and you let all your young players come in. We got Thomas right there. He's been filling in very well for Cam, Ward, and Falks. So, hey, he's a redshirt freshman, but he's getting some footage. He's getting some opportunity. He's getting a feel for the Coach G offense and Albany State Golden Rams as a institution. So 29-0, pretty sure you're going to have a lot of other guys coming in to play as well.
Sullivan looking to throw. Reception made to Joe Shorter. Shorter able to get enough yards for a first down out to close to the 45-yard line. Good throw there by young Sullivan.
Yeah, Sullivan, they started him off with a basic route. You didn't see the flat route, but had a flat route by the tight end right there, 11, and a curl route behind it by Shorter. That's a basic football play right there. Flat, curl, easy read. Either throw it to the flat or throw it to the curl.
Keeping it is Sullivan, and wow, gets a first down into Clark Atlanta territory. He's not going down. Jaden Sullivan with second and third effort brings the ball all the way down to the Panther 35.
Yeah, Harris comes up for Clark Atlanta to make that tackle. But this is where we talk about the woo licks today. We've been seeing a lot of woo lick. That's where we need to see that woo lick on that quarterback. Not trying to say we're trying to hurt quarterback or hurt people, but if I'm going to tackle you, you got to remember I tackled you. I want you getting up looking at me like, who is that hit me? But again, great pickup by the quarterback, Sullivan.
Clock continues to run. Now Sullivan looking to throw. And ball is on the ground, incomplete.
Pretty good placement by Sullivan there because he actually had to throw the ball a little low. Probably threw it a little too low, but I've always been taught, whether it's defense or offense, if that ball hits your hands as a receiver, you got to come up with the catch. So for Sullivan, right there, number 10, in the center of your screen, these reps, game time reps, real live ammunition reps, are going to help that coach right there, Coach Gardenia, in years to come.
Is that the biggest advantage for a team when they're having a dominating win, is the fact that you're giving younger players those live reps?
Yes, it does. It does, because football is one of those sports where next man up. So the more reps you have, the more you can look at on film and be able to game plan around that player that comes into the game. If you don't have footage on them, then you can only go off of what you see in practice. And there are a lot of players who are practice players and not game players. They do very well in practice, but then when they get in the game, they don't do so well. So this gives Coach Gardenia an opportunity to see what Sullivan, Thomas, all those guys who are coming in can do if they are needed late in the season.
3rd and 11. Sullivan looking, spin move, breaks the line of scrimmage inside the 30, down to the 20, and smartly goes out of bounds and gets a first down.
You know, actually, when I look at Sullivan dart his way in the pocket, actually, they do have reps and plays where they are teaching the quarterback to keep his feet alive, to look for an opening. And I've seen, again, from the pro level, Russell Wilson, for example. How many times have you seen Russell dink and dodge and keep his feet alive and looking to throw that ball, and then he take off running? So great play by Sullivan.
And now a good inside run by number 42, Dyson Sanders, the junior running back out of Douglas, Georgia.
And you know,
First time we've seen him.
And not only is this good for the young kids to get in, but guess what? Sanders is going to say? He's going to call his boys back who are in high school now, and he's going to tell them that he's getting a lot of play. And that's going to make, again, Coach Gardenia very formative in plays to come.
And you see Banu calling in the plays right there with the, what kind of shade you call those?
Well, we had a picture. Anybody remember Kumo D back in the day? Kumo D had them glasses on. He's basically how you like me now. And that's exactly what.
And Davion Sanders makes his way into the end zone. Another touchdown, coolly, Kumo D way for the Golden Rams.
Yeah, again, Kumo D, he was the first one that I ever saw with those glasses. And everybody remember that song, How You Like Me Now. But again, hey, Albany State keeps the train rolling, puts up another 6 points. Maybe somebody else going to get an opportunity to come in. But great play, great touchdown, run by Sanders.
Point after attempt, and it goes wide to the left. Remains 35-0, but Davion Sanders, a young man from Leesburg, Georgia, gets his first touchdown of the season as the lead expands to 35-0. Let's go around the SIAC and get you up to date on the latest scores. Fort Valley goes up to West Virginia and defeats Bluefield State. Miles with a win over Central State. Savannah State 15-3 over Morehouse. Tuskegee with a win. Lane continues their romp with a win over Ed Waters. And Benedict with a huge win over Kentucky State. So the East looks like it's going to be a 3, possibly 4-team race when you look at Benedict College, you look at Fort Valley, and of course Albany State. They're all standing high right now, undefeated in conference play.
The beast, the East is the beast. Now that is an error right there by the special teams, number 11, Jones. You never fair catch. Did he fair catch? Okay, they're moving it up.
Yeah, they'll move it up.
The 25, ball will be placed at the 25-yard line.
And that's for safety purposes. They said that was for safety.
Yeah, after that woo lick from Barnes, I'm pretty sure he probably didn't want to return that kick. He probably thinking about Barnes.
No doubt. I think everybody on special teams is thinking about Barnes.
I know, right?
And we see Sharif Brown back on the field for the Panthers. And with 2:20 left, do you still try to march down the field and score if you're Clark Atlanta?
Again, this is where you tell the players as a coaching staff, we believe in you, and this is where you say as the players, you want to let the coaches know you're never giving up.
Brown with the pitch and catch, reception made, and may have got about 6 yards there. Jamal Crawford, 6'6" from Miami. Now they've got 6'6" receivers out there. Once they get on track, that's going to be a formidable wide receiving corps.
You think so? Should be. But I think what you're going to see Clark Atlanta try to do is throw a lot of out routes, and what you're going to try to see Albany State do is protect the sidelines with various coverages.
Less than 2 minutes to go. Brown trying to find a receiver, and this one incomplete. He was pressured. Clock stops with 1:40. Looking for West.
Now, again, you see how Albany State came with that blitz, and I'm going to keep talking about it until somebody realizes the screen is a good play. Right there, Albany State had a blitz coming. If you call a screen play in that situation, you're going to pick up big-time yards because they are blitzing. And when they blitz, they're bringing full pressure, and you just let them linemen get behind them blockers, the rushers.
Quick pass across the middle, enough for a first down to move the chains, and reception there made by McCoy.
There's a big, tall drink of water, as they would say, 6'6". So I think Clark Atlanta has a go-to guy right there in McCoy. You know, he's made several plays against Albany State in this game, so they need to feed him the ball like they feed the running backs.
Brown's going to keep it, and he's going to scamper beyond the 40 to about the 42-yard line. Less than a minute to play, and for Albany State, this will be important to get their first win in conference play, but more importantly, a shutout.
Well, Albany State is Albany State. I think they are one of the class teams of the SIAC. They've done it year in and year out, so they are doing what they're doing. They're sitting back now in a prevent defense, only got 3 rushers. Protect deep.
And that one over the head of the intended receiver, Brandon Hinton. And now 28 seconds left on the clock, and you can see Coach G, he's just trying to tell everybody, hey, play back. Everybody on the sidelines, get back. And he's trying to get his fan base to get up a little bit. I think some of them may have started their trek home because they know that this game is in the hands of the Golden Rams.
You see no headset on the head coach's head, then you know the game is pretty much over.
Third down. Brown dumps it off. And close to a first down, maybe a yard short. Reception there by Alvin Jones. Less than 10 seconds to go. Can they get a playoff? Looks like they're not going to get a playoff. And this will end the game. And that is the ball game and a shutout for the Golden Rams. And win number 1 this season in the SIAC for Coach G, as they defeat Clark Atlanta 35-0, and they improve. And we see the coaches and the players showing sportsmanship, 2 of the best in the SIAC. And Tyrone, this was a good game in Albany State, as their show band said their defense put on the show today.
Put on the show. It's who's up next week. Great hitting. Great option plays. Albany State going away with a 35-0 win.
And thanks for joining us. Good night, and have a good one. 30-0 Golden Rams.